sunrise on a Saturday. I'm headed out to the lake, just my buddy and me. Got my boat hooked up to my Chevy truck. I'm running high on luck, I ain't ever coming down. Time to back the boat down the ramp again. Do everything we can to come back in with a winning side. That's a life of a fisherman you wouldn't understand. Something you can't feel on dry land. You gotta get your arms way up in a kayak and set the hook on smallmouth bass, and then you'll understand. Step on a day, give the world. Hello, welcome to my world. All right. Just had a little flash of my internet system there. I think we got everybody still up and rolling. Let me double check that before we get too deep into this thing and get too far gone. Oh, me. Let's see here. Let me make sure I got everybody in the house here. Make sure we're up and still rolling live. Let me kill my volume there. All right. Let's do this thing the right way. Derek Brundle's already in the house. Dylan, the kid. What's up, brother? Johnny's in the house. The champ is in the house, Mr. Mike Elsey. Craig Storm's already in here. I'm worried about what Craig's got. I mean, Craig might throw some stuff on the screen that Craig and Casey are close. So I don't know. Craig may not be able to hang around the show tonight, guys. I don't know what Craig's going to throw Casey's way. He may have some comments. They may be appropriate, they may be not. So I guess we'll see how that goes. So yeah, dude. All right, looks like we're good. Looks like we got everybody in. Little Tyler Waller coming in there on the show. I'm really digging that song. That's like I've been using that a little bit for the majority of these 10 series, but I like it. Just that song hits me, man. It's good. I'm trying not to choke. I got a whole bunch of gummy bears in front of me, so if y'all see me need the Heimlich, call the wife, somebody, because those things keep getting lodged. I don't know. I guess I'm just swallowing them. I'm not chewing enough. I don't know why I'm talking to you guys about gummy bears. Y'all don't give a crap about my gummy bear eating habits, do you? Let's kick this thing started the right way. What's going on? Oh, man. Facebook Live. Whoa! What up, everybody? Welcome to the weigh-in. I'm your host, Guy Beutjer. Holy crap, we've got a Virginia Hammer. The Virginia Hammer. Mr. Casey Reed in the house tonight. This is a cat who is no stranger to kayak fishing, no stranger to kayak tournament fishing. This guy has been beating around the upper echelons of this industry for several years. Honestly, since the beginning. He was all the way back at the NC when Matt Ball won, way back in the day. It's like 5 years ago, but he's been around, right? This guy's not a stranger. This dude's a competitor. A lot like y'all heard me talk about Jamie last night being super cerebral. I think Casey's that way. And I've got a couple of questions for Casey that I hope shed some light. I hope he gives us, there's no reason why he would lie to us, but I hope he gives us some real truth, because I think that I can learn something, which means I hope that some of you guys can learn something from him here tonight. You guys know how this thing works, right? As we get rolling in this thing, two things I want you guys to do before we bring Casey on. We've got $1,000 bounty on sharing this video. Here's how you have to do it. Whether you're pulling for Casey or any of the other 10 competitors going into the 11, that's the 10. You know what I'm doing here, right? You're gonna hashtag DZ the 10. Hashtag DZ the 10. Shout out DZ Automotives. And if you're pulling for Casey or any of these other 10 guys, you're gonna tag them in that share, right? At the end of all of this, DZ and Hoover are going to get together and put together a randomizer of everyone who shared all these things. And we're going to pick $1,000 gift. We're going to pick pick a winner for $1,000 gift card for DZ products. So phenomenal. I don't know anybody that can't use $1,000 in DZ bucks. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to drop in the comment section and let us know where you're watching from. And I want you to go in and smash that share button and give a big shout out to hashtag DZ the 10 and tag any of these 11 competitors for your chance at $1,000. Now, before I bring Casey on, I want to talk about a little bit about what my day was like, because I'm not just going to throw down that I was choking on some gummy bears earlier. I had, if you guys follow me online, I had a phenomenal day. I went up north to Lake Lanier and went to a seminar that Clint Henderson and Christine put on for a room full of kayak enthusiasts. And it was incredible, guys. It was absolutely phenomenal. I know that we talk and we preach community, and we do all these different things. But to see the outpouring of folks come together, to see those two, I mean, sticks step up on in a classroom setting and have a PowerPoint presentation and run through how they build out different things and how they pre-fish, how they look at the sonar, moon phases and stuff. It was very educational. I thoroughly loved it. Big shout out to Christine Fisher. Big shout out to Clint the Hammer Henderson. Guys, you guys did a great job today. I'm super proud of y'all. Super, super blessed to have come and been a part of that. I got to spend a little time with Mark Daniels Jr. and a little time with old Brian Latimer, as well as some of the Tennessee sticks showed up from all over. Craig Dye was up there. Steve Owens was up there. Andy Middleton came into the house. It was a great little group of just this southeast area getting together to support a couple of our own guys. And so to see two kayak names up on that top billboard and that billing with a couple of those big boat guys giving seminars and teaching classes and having folks show up and pay money for that. I loved seeing that in the sport. I want more of that. It was phenomenal. So that's how my day went. It was super, super awesome. Hope you guys are all having a great Saturday. Somebody told me earlier there was a Killers football game on. I think it was the Bills in Tennessee. Somebody, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big football fan. I've been super swamped with getting homework done and getting everything ready for this show. So let's do this the right way. Let's bring on Mr. Casey Reed. He's ready to roll. He's clearing his throat in the green room. He's shifting around. He's getting ready. He's been on the show before, so he's not a stranger. He's not a stranger to Winner's Circle. Welcome, Mr. Casey Reed. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. How's it going?
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Excited to be on here tonight.
You look like a pro, bro. Like the first thing I gotta say, man, you kick on. You got all your trophies behind you. You got a giant check. Like, dude, you got the hoodie. You kick back with the headphones. You got the swagger. I want to be Casey Reed. How do you get so cool, dog?
I don't know, man.
It's like, dude, I love it, bro. You're just, you're killer.
I appreciate that, man.
It's just, you kind of live the bachelor life. So do you keep a trophy room because you got hardware?
No, not yet, man. Hopefully after this year we'll maybe get something going. But I think I need a few more trophies first.
Would you? A start for that would probably be a 10 trophy, right?
That would. It's a little bit bigger than these ones I got here, I think. So yeah, that would be a good start for sure.
That'd be a good start. Well, I threw up the payouts with on the first night with Mr. Brad Case, but I'm gonna throw them up here on the screen. Let's talk a little bit about what it is that we're talking about in this event. Now, this is the 10. This is there's 11 of you, so when I call it the 10, if you're just tuning in, stay with us. There's 11 competitors, could be 12, competing for over $30,000. You had to earn your way into this. It's the top 10 guys, and this year the top 11 competing for this money. And this is the first year, and it's the first tournament that I know of that KBF, or anyone for that matter, is paying every competitor. Casey, when this dropped, man, what was your thought process?
Man, I couldn't really believe it. I knew you said you had something exciting to share that had to do with the payouts, but honestly, I wasn't expecting the $1,000 all the way to the last place, man. Like the guys were saying before in the previous shows, man. I mean, you're there. You already got that paycheck. You just got to work your way up now. It takes away a bit of the stress. We spend a lot of money going to these events, and with the 10, having the house paid for, food supplied, no entry fees. All we're paying for is gas and to get down there and everything. So having that guaranteed paycheck of at least $1,000 is pretty amazing. And then $10,000 when you're competing against 10, 11 other people, So
So right off the get go, you guys are guaranteed when you walk in the house. I mean, there's $1,000 waiting on you when you walk in the house.
yeah, man, I can't believe it. Like it's freaking awesome. Like
I mean, like, I don't know that it gets any better. So you guys coming into a house now this year. Now I know you were, but we're going to get into Bienville and get into the Invitational for last year. But this year we're doing the KBF's doing a little different. Where you guys are going down to Kissimmee Chain of Lakes. Big shout out to Kissimmee Sports. They stepped up really big. You guys are going into basically a mansion in a neighborhood of mansions. And everybody's going to bunk together. Everybody's going to live, eat, breathe, practice, tie, work on different things. I mean, when you travel, I know for a fact that you're a big Subaru guy and that your whole rig, your whole car. Let's get into that, Casey. Let me bring the screen down real quick. Let's go ahead and dive right into this, right? So
right.
your Subaru and the way that you travel is I mean, you've custom set yourself up for success. Explain to me your rig, bro. Everything.
Yeah, so we'll start with the Subaru. So this year, I knew I was going to be doing a lot of traveling. Hotels are really expensive, and especially when you're just a day or two, man. So I basically set up a little bed in the back of the Subaru. It's big enough. I got to slide the front seat up, and the little gap when you lay the seats down, the little gap. I got a little piece of wood filling in there, so you can extend it a little further. Made a little makeshift bed, and I've been sleeping in there all of 2019 pretty much.
Talk about the grind, guys. Now, you work super hard. You're very successful in your private life. You work a regular 9 to 5. Explain to folks. I love your 9 to 5. Explain to folks your 9 to 5, Case.
Yeah, so I work at a place. It's called Liberty Mountain Snowflex Center. It's a all year round ski and snowboard facility. So there's no snow. It's a synthetic surface that's made. It's called Snowflex, and you can ski and snowboard on it. In the middle of the summer, and it's pretty neat. And
is this an indoor facility? Sorry for my ignorance. Is this indoor? Like I've never.
So no, it's all outdoor. Yeah, I mean it's the only one in the United States as far as the Snowflex is. So yeah, not a lot of people know about it.
What's the name of this place?
It's Liberty Mountain Snowflex Center.
Somebody. I wish Brad was here. Brad normally drops links, but I'm gonna look that up, man. That sounds like a vacation spot right there. Now, are you? I mean, we talked about this a little earlier in the pre-show. I mean, do you ski? You snowboard anymore?
So I do not much, but I do get out a little bit.
The hesitation in the voice.
Yeah, well, because if any of my coworkers are listening, they're gonna be like, "No, he doesn't snowboard anymore." but I still do get out a little bit every once in a while.
He stuttered. He was like, "I want to tell the bad guys, yeah, I shred half pipes, or I don't know what the snowboard lingo is." And then you're like, "Wait a minute, they may be watching."
No, yeah. So I try to get out a little bit, but man, it's just I got fishing on the mind all the time, and working there full time for as long as I have. It's like I just want to get out of there and go fishing or go think about fishing or something.
Now, did you grow up an athlete?
Yeah. So I played throughout like elementary school and everything. I played rec soccer, baseball, basketball. Kind of quit all that stuff when I got into high school. Did a little bit more getting into trouble than anything during high school, so I kind of got out of fishing and all the sports and everything. But luckily, like pretty soon after high school, I kind of got back into fishing, man, and really took it back up. So
now you grew up fishing with uncles and family members and stuff like that. I mean, tell us about the early. I mean, you grew up with a creek in the backyard, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about those early years, Case.
Yeah, so there was a we had a little creek in the back, and we'd always be going down there catching little creek chubs, bluegill, little bass, whatever was in there, freaking wading around in it, catching crawdads or whatever, just hanging out down there. Went on a couple trips with my uncle and my grandpa to Colorado. Did some trout fishing up in the mountains there. That was pretty early on, and fast forward a few years, I would just wanted to catch something big, and we would go out. We had a neighbor had a pond, and we'd go out there and catch some big old flatheads out of there. So always growing up, I was always into fishing, just not quite, you know, like it is now. It was always just the thing to do on the weekend, and I had a couple friends here and there that would love to do it too. So anytime I got up with them, that's what we would be doing.
And then sometime 2011, 12, somewhere in there, right off my timeline on Casey Reed is correct. You started a bunch of friends, and you guys started doing the bigger rivers systems and stuff in canoes and kayaks. You basically got a couple of kayaks then, and kind of grew in from there. And then you went and fished really the first year that KBF started really kind of doing things from local levels. You started getting that competitive drive. I mean, really quickly, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as I found out about any kind of kayak tournament, there was a local tournament trail. It was like 10 guys at the most, and I got up with them, and we started fishing. We fished the whole season with them, and I ended up getting AOY in that. And then, like, I mean, after that, it was just on, man. I just the competitiveness in me just it just went all out. So then, yeah, the KBF, I found out about the online tournaments through them, and then did those, qualified for the national championship. And, that was really my first big trip and to fish big water.
I love that you brought up the onlines. I'm actually fixing to throw your Tony X profile up on the screen here with us. So your Tony X profile, if you guys don't get in and study anglers the way that I do, this is one to go look up. Like, this dude's stats are sick stats. Love it. And not only that, but like he's got all his sponsors. Like, this dude's a pro. This guy's a pro. Like, just, I'm telling you, this guy does it the right way. But your online stuff, dude, and all the online challenges, when you go down the list, it's Casey Reed, first place, second place, first place. Like, I mean, what are you doing in the onlines, bro? You're killing it.
Man, I just fish a whole lot. Like, not last year so much, but the year before. I mean, I was out, you know, to the spot I like to fish. It's an hour and 15-minute drive from the house. So I was doing that 4 or 5 nights a week, and then sometimes I was staying. I'd either sleep in my car while I was there and fish 2 days straight, or so. I mean, there was a few nights where I fished like 26 hours in a row and just didn't get off the water.
It's incredible, man. Incredible. So now I want to touch base on this a little bit, because you had a pretty phenomenal season. But before I get into your season, I want to talk about the way that you fish and how you fish, because you're let me shut this screen down here. You're a very smart guy, and one of I think so many people's weaknesses that get into this sport is electronics. And you're known for how well you use your electronics. So I want to know, man. Give me all the stats, bro. What do you use? How do you use it? And why is that such a pivotal part of what you do? I know you're powering everything with Dakota Lithium.
Yep. So I have a Helix 10 mega side imaging unit. When I upgraded to that, I mean, it literally changed everything. Just the stuff you can see on the side imaging will blow your mind. And I constantly have my side imaging up 99% of the time, and I'm always looking at it, and I'm always using it to find something, to find my next cast, basically.
Incredible. So I want to come back to that. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to the weigh-in. I'm your host, Guy Beutjer, and we're on with Mr. Casey Reed. The weigh-in is brought to you guys every single night by Fish USA, America's Tackle Shop. I'm repping the swag right now. Fish USA does a phenomenal job. They've really dove in hard into this sport over the last couple of years. And for me, one of the things that I love about what they're doing is that they're not just investing in things that they are getting something an instant return on. They're truly investing in kayak fishing as a sport and as a community. One of the things that I love about what they're doing is they're staying involved in what we're doing. They've had guys at events. They're setting up booths. They're doing things other than just writing checks and getting and making an investment. Like they're actually putting in the time, the effort, and the work. And so that's when they won myself over. Casey, I know that you're a proud Fish USA pro staffer. And so what I love about what they're doing is that they genuinely care about the kayak fishing community, and they're putting their money and their time and their effort where their mouth is. I think any company can come in and write a check, but when you come in and you're actually putting in the time and you're putting in the effort and you're taking the time to learn who these different guys are, where these different tournaments are going down, what we need, what we don't need, and you're bringing that stuff in because it's what we're using. To me, that speaks volumes, and Fish USA has done a phenomenal job of doing that. I did see this morning online that I think until midnight tonight, guys, all of their fluorocarbon online is 20% off. You guys know I'll be using that Seagar, so y'all go check that out. As always, on fishusa.com, you can use the hashtag Tackle Your Dreams and as a checkout code and save even more money there. So, Casey, back to your graphs, man. Back to your electronics and how you kind of set this stuff up. When did that come into play for you? When did you realize that you wanted to do more under the water? When did that really start? Did you start learning that?
So, I mean, I've had a graph for a long time now, and I started out with a little 4-inch unit and really got to like it, learned how to read it, how to set it up and everything. Then I upgraded to the Helix 5 with the side imaging, and the side imaging on that, it's not a big enough screen to fully utilize it. But I didn't really understand the side imaging to begin with then. So once I started seeing the mega side imaging images coming out, get people posting them online, I was like, this is where it's at. This is what I got to do. And I learned it on my 5-inch screen. And once I finally got comfortable with it dialed in and looking or seeing, understanding what I'm looking at, I was like, all right, let's go for it. And threw down a bunch of money and got the Helix 10 Mega. And like I said, it's totally changed my fishing.
It's a game changer. Everybody hates that term, but it's a game changer.
It is, and now I'm waiting to pull the trigger on the 360, because that's just, I mean, if it's side imaging but all around. So I'm just waiting, hopefully, for this $10,000, and then I'll go ahead and drop some money on this.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. This $10,000. If you guys are just tuning in, I want you to go in and smash that share button. Let everybody know that you're tuning in. And I also want you to have, if you haven't done it already, drop in a comment section there and let us know where you're watching from. We love seeing where the audience is coming from all across the country. If you guys are listening to this on the podcast platform, too late because that's tomorrow. But if you're not and you're tuning in with us live right now, guys, check it out. Before we get into the 10 a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about the season that you had, because your stats are pretty phenomenal, Case. You came in to Santee Cooper in the first pro event and took third place. Right?
Man, yeah.
My math is right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. I'm so confused. It's been a long year. So
yeah. So as a matter of fact, let me go in here and see if I can pull that up, because I want to say, and the kid is on here, I want to say, didn't Dylan win that event?
Yeah, there was some. Yeah, I guess he won the Pro Series, but something happened to one of his fit.
Yeah. Series. I'm only talking about the Pro event here.
Yeah.
Let me go in here and see if I can find this, because this was, man, now I'm all discombobulated. I had that up on the screen, guys. Y'all stay patient with me. We're not professionals around here, all right? Y'all stay patient. Let's see here. The Santee Cooper event. Okay, yeah. So in the for the Pro Tour on Santee Cooper this year, you ended up in third place. You guys get this. The first KBF Pro Tour event, earlier this year that took place on Santee Cooper. Here, listen to the top three, guys. Dylan, the KBF kid, Fuqua, who's in this 10. Cody Milton, who needs no explanation, is in this 10. And then Casey Reed. That was your top three running out of the pro for the first KBF Pro event this season. That's phenomenal. Now, rolling out of there, you also did really well up on East West Harbor. You did really well up on the Chesapeake with a first place finish up there on the pro side, right?
Yep.
Lake Anna, I mean, another first place trophy for you. Your the KBF NC this year, 73rd doesn't sound great, but with a 3-day tournament and the competition that we had, you were competitive every day.
Yeah, I was in 12th place, 11th or 12th going into day 3, and then just I had beat up my spot too bad, so I really had a shot at top 10 but that's how it goes, I guess.
Well, so I mean, what did you learn out of that 3-day tournament?
Man, I've learned it the year before too, except that was a 2-day tournament, but man, it's tough putting together multiple days. I mean, that's what I've struggled at, but this year I did good at a couple 2-day tournaments, so I'm really learning you got to have more than one spot, even if you don't think you need more than one spot. So
yeah,
you always got to have a backup plan.
A backup for the backup is what I hear.
As many backup plans as you can. Yep.
Yeah, I got you. So rolling into this 10 house, man, last year you had an opportunity to roll into the 10 house. Chad pretty much laid out a silver platter for you to win and get into the 10, and you fell short of that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I did. So, I'd fished Bienville 2 years before that, placed in top 10, and I fished a couple of the different lakes there and felt pretty confident going into it. And of course, it just fished completely different. I did everything that I had done the years before, which a lot of times, or that turned out to be a mistake. Kind of basing off of previous years rather than just fishing the moment. But once I finally, started fishing the moment, it was too late on day 2. But I ended up catching like a 8-pounder, and had the confidence to catch 5 fish, but it was just too late in the day to be able to make up for it. So and I think after that event, I wrote up an article saying like you just can't always fish previous tournaments. You always got to go in with a fresh mind and check out different stuff, and especially when there's no pre-fishing for those events. So like I just knew that there was going to be fish in those spots that I had fished the years before, and they just weren't there and weren't anywhere around where I could find them. So it really took some searching before I could actually go and found them.
Now, the Invitational, I want to touch base on that a little bit because there's 11 guys going to fish in this right now. We showed the pay chart earlier, but there's 12 spots on the pay chart. Case, explain to those that may not know what that extra spot is and how someone can earn that.
Yeah, so whoever gets or anybody that goes down to the Invitational has a chance to get into the 10 and get this guaranteed paycheck plus whatever they win in the Invitational. So all you got to do is come down there, win the Invitational, and you're in on the 10.
Now, as you 11 guys that are already in, I asked this last night of Jamie, and he was very, very straightforward in that you guys don't want a 12th guy.
Oh, I mean, no, of course not. I mean, it's already pretty good odds for us, but I mean, yeah, you don't want to ruin that even more. Yeah, I mean, one more person, especially if they win the 10 or the Invitational, they're obviously on some fish. So yeah, we don't want that. And
So
I really,
you take a guy like Craig Dye or Corey Dreyer or you know what I mean, or Jody Queen, who I know is coming down. Like these guys, like there's some hammers that aren't in this house.
There's a lot of hammers, and I'm specifically worried about Corey and Jody for sure because I know they spend a lot of time down in Florida. And I mean, last time I talked to, or it was at the first 10. I met Corey on the way down there, and he told me he's like we went to the Bass Pro and ate at the mall, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna win this thing. And I was like, all right. And what did he go and do?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Corey has that swag about him. He's one of those dudes that, dude. I think Corey Dreyer is dangerous on any time he's on the water. He can
yep,
compete.
yep.
So and Jody Queen, like that's a living legend. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the 11 of you guys can play defense, whether or not the 11 of you guys can keep out that 12th man. Last year the at the Invitational, it was unsuccessful. Jeff Fader came down from Michigan and just destroyed everybody.
Yeah, that was a pretty unbelievable showing he had, man. He was wearing them out, that's for sure.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see. So okay, now rolling into the 10. I mean, let me throw these beautiful faces up here on the screen, Corey. So there's 11 guys here, Case, and every one of these guys has potential to win here. What are the 3 guys here that you're genuinely worried about?
I mean, Josh Stewart.
Why?
Uh,
Why, Josh?
I've seen Josh fish, man. He'll he'll be not catching anything the day before, and then the tournament starts up, and he just finds fish, man. I don't know. He just always seems to do it. I mean, all these guys are obviously finding fish, but yeah, Josh, Cody.
Okay, wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. Let's talk about Josh, and
All right.
I'm gonna throw Josh under the bus. Josh is always finding fish, but Josh hasn't. Josh has been to the 10 4 years. This will be his 4th year.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Last year he had like an 18-inch lead and couldn't catch a 5th fish.
Yeah, I mean it can happen to any one of us, man, and that's what happens when you have these multiple day tournaments, man. It's just staying on those fish for 2 days, or being able to have multiple sets of fish that you're catching from, or just if it's just grinding out. But I mean, I know Josh is just a grinder, man. He'll fish to that last cast, and like I saw him fishing last year at I guess it was during the Invitational, man, and he was just freaking. I think he was chucking that A rig. He was just going around like a madman.
He's a gamer, man.
Dude, he is.
I'm a huge fan of Josh. And then you drop Cody Milton's name. I'm like, how can you not? Josh is watching. He's gonna punch me in the mouth. He says sometimes you wet the bed. Josh, do it. You know we love you, bro. So Cody Milton. Cody is, Cody's a perennial favorite. I think almost every time he's on the water. This is his 3rd 10. He won it last year. He was last year's AOY, and you brought his name up again. I mean, what am I leaving out, Case?
Well, I'm sorry. What's that?
So what am I? So what? So what am I leaving out? Why Cody? Why is Cody so dangerous in your opinion?
Dude, he's just always. I mean, I always see him up there. And again, I haven't really got to fish with him a whole lot, but I do get to talk to him a whole lot. But he's just a grinder, and he's like, I heard y'all, I think it was last night, or maybe it was on one of the shows. I mean, he's just been fishing forever, it seems like, and he's always traveling to different places and fishing different bodies of water, which is really what it takes to be consistent everywhere. You gotta know how to fish all these different lake setups and everything. And
I got you. All
I
right. So
mean,
you said Josh. You name drop Cody. I think those are the obvious ones. Who's your other third? Who's the guy here that shakes your boots?
so I mean, if it's gonna be a frog fishing event, it's definitely Brad. I mean, Brad can just wear those fish out on a frog, and he loves it, and he knows what he's doing. And I mean, it was between uh, him and Scotch, because I mean, Scotch just has had an unbelievable year. I don't think he's placed worse than like fifth place in pretty much any event. He's been on top of the leaderboard all year long. So if he can keep that consistency going into this year, I mean, he's definitely won. But I think Brad's probably the next one on the list. I think for me.
What do you think? Do you think having everybody under one roof, do you think that's going to mess with your mind at all?
I'm gonna try not to let it to, but yeah, I mean, it definitely could. We'll see how much crap talking everybody's doing and how much fake information everybody's throwing out there, and just I try not to listen to any of that stuff, and I mean, you just got to get dialed in before these events, and just not pay attention to what anybody else is doing, and just do your own thing, and go out there and find the fish and get them in the boat.
So now all of these guys have a strength. Casey Reed, what do you think is your strength? What's your go-to? What's your comfort rod? What's your wheelhouse? What's your numero uno, bro?
So it's a spinning rod with a shaky head tied on. That's pretty much my go-to.
No,
That's
the old shaky head, huh? That's your go-to.
Yep.
I
That's
got
what
you.
all the money I won this year was on the shaky head.
Rocking the old shaky head, huh?
Yep.
What
Yep.
now do you prefer? I mean, what's your style? If you could lay out the perfect scenario for Casey Reed to come into Kissimmee Chain of Lakes with Kissimmee Sports at your back for the DZ10 and to have the perfect layout, what's the conditions for you?
So really, I think if we have a cold front or something come through, I want it to be some tough fishing. Those are the events that I really do good at. It's it's when everybody's wearing fish out. That those make for tough events, man. When you got multiple people at like 95 plus inches, and every quarter inch really counts. Um, I don't like to see that personally. I like the ones where it's a grind, where you got to grind to even get those 5 bites.
You like it when the top two guys are the only guys that got 5 fish all day.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I've done good. That's how I mean. Lake Anna was like that. I think there was only 6 or 7 limits caught that day. I was catching. I probably caught 20 fish that day, and same at Lake Erie. I mean, I don't know how many fish I caught on both of those days, but at the
Now,
end of the event, there was only 2 that had limits for both days,
well,
and
that's
that
what I
was
want to talk about. Lake Erie was, I mean, Lake Erie this year was rough. The water was screaming. I think coming. I'm gonna go pull that up real quick while I'm searching. But I want to say at the end of day one, you were second or third this year on Erie, right?
yeah. I believe I was second. I'm not really sure.
Let me go in here and look and see. I want to say, yeah, on day one. Do I have this right? Yeah, okay, wait a minute. I'm pulling this up right now. Yeah, on day one, you were right behind Matt Ball. Matt Ball had
Okay, yeah,
yeah, he had almost a 5-inch lead. You had some great fish. Let me throw this up here real quick. Let me pull this down. Let's talk about Erie for a minute because this was a great event. Like as a fan, like this was just phenomenal. I mean, you had some really good fish. You had 18 and 3/4 right here. I
yeah.
mean, on day one, I mean, you ran an 18. Like, I mean, you had some good fish. I mean, what were you? This is all shaky head.
Yeah. Every one of those fish was on a shaky head.
Now, Matt Ball is quite the shaky head specialist himself. So now we roll into day two, and in day two, again, you see the grind. Like you weren't in first place, you were in third. You actually dropped on day 2. I mean, your biggest on day 2 was only a 17-inch fish.
Yeah, it was. It was a bit tougher of a day. The wind kind of was pretty good all day, but luckily where I was, it was a little bit more protected. So day 2 I could actually get out there a little bit and get to the spots I needed to get to.
But I mean, but this is what you want. This is what you want to see in Florida. You want to see this grind. You want to see guys struggle to get a limit. That's your comfort zone.
I mean, that's when I seem to catch fish. I mean, with the finesse technique, I can get those 5 bites a lot of the time. So when those people are struggling to catch fish, a lot of times I can at least get those 5 bites that I need.
I got you. Makes
I mean,
perfect.
granted, yeah. I mean, granted, I love to go down to Florida and just have a slugfest, but at the same time, I mean, history shows that it's the tough tournaments, it's those grinders where I always end up doing good at. So
All right, now I want to put you in the hot seat, Case. I haven't really done this with Jamie or with Brad Case yet. So here's my question. You got Derek Brundle right here underneath you on Lake Erie, finishing out, taking second place up on Lake Erie. Derek's in this competition. Okay, we already talked about Sandy Cooper and you coming in behind Dylan and behind Cody. So you guys travel in this pack. You guys know who's who and who's strength and who's and everything else. One of the things that I, as just as a fan and as a guy who follows, I feel like Derek and Mr. Ken Wood aren't getting the same respect as everybody else in this group.
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people just don't know who they are, man. Like I heard, I don't know who said it on one of the shows the past couple of nights. I mean, they're all the way up in the very top corner. They don't get a lot of events. We had the Northeast last year, which they came down south a little bit. But a lot of those guys from Texas, or they don't they don't know who these guys are a whole lot, I don't think. But they're definitely. I mean, Ken, he was in the 10 last year. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years in a row. I mean, that's impressive. And I mean, Derek, he came out of the gates this year and just smoked everybody in the Northeast. So I mean, everybody up there is somebody to look out for. That's for sure. Everybody's got a shot at it.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. So coming into Florida and kicking off the year with the 10, with everything that's going on in the community, what is 2020 shaping up like after you cash this $10,000 check down in Florida?
So we'll be going back to Santee again here in February, which I'm excited about. So the end of February. So I think it was pretty close to the same time we went last year. So I'm hoping to be able to find some good fish down there. But I mean, the rest of the season I'm going to fish the KBF Trail Mid Atlantic. I'm going to fish as many of the BASS events as I can. And there's a few. I run Virginia Kayak Bass Challenge, so we'll be going to all these events here around Virginia. Um, let's see, what else am I missing? Um, we got the national championship, coming up on Gunnersville. That
You're
that's going to
looking
be a
for
fun one.
are you looking for a little day 3 redemption this year?
Yeah, man. I mean, I hope so because again, Kentucky Lake. What, 3 years ago, I had an awesome day 1, didn't catch a fish day 2. Then turns into a 3-day tournament. I do good for 2 days, and then don't do anything on day 3. So now's the chance to beat them all up on all 3 days and do good. So, and hopefully cash a check at least. But we'll see how that goes. And just I'm excited for it. I'm excited to go fish Gunnersville. I've never been there, so I know that's going to be a fun one no matter what happens.
Now, Casey, what is it that you think you do that makes what you do so successful? What is the secret? What is the sauce? What is something that you're consistently putting together that you think is a secret to your success?
I mean, really, it's a lot of it is my graph and being able to read that and just how I use it. I tell a lot of people how I do it and what I do, but a lot of people just don't do it the way that I do. And I mean, it may not be for them, but it works for me. And I mean that's really key. I mean, like again, Lake Erie, I was using my side imaging and the whole time and finding the targets that I needed to be throwing at and just constantly being able to hit them, as much as possible and with every cast that I was making. And it paid off. If the fish are there and you're hitting that target every single cast, you're going to get more bites for sure.
I got you, man. I got you. If you guys are just tuning in, you've missed a phenomenal episode here. Casey Reed has really opened up and kind of laid out a lot of the secrets of success. We've learned a little bit about his background, a little bit of the history. This guy has put on the grind for several years now. Last year came up just short of making this house. This year he came back and hit the ground running hard, knowing he was going to fight his way into this competition. He's done that. He's been there. He's earned his spot. He's going up against 10 of the best competitors in the industry, in the community, with in Mr. Brad Case, Mr. Jamie Broad, Casey himself, Cody Milton, Dylan the Kid Fuqua, Matthew Scotch, who just utterly is a hammer out of Texas, Derek Brundle, Mr. Ken Wood, this year's national champ, Mr. Mike Elsey, Josh Stewart, who just don't even need any more explanation. Josh Stewart's a household name in this sport. If you don't know who he is, you need to find out. And then this year's AOY in the Tennessee Hammer himself, and a lot of people think the perennial favorite for this event, Mr. Russ Snyders. This is going to be a slobber knocker down at Kissimmee Chain of Lakes. Big shout out to Kissimmee Sports and everything that they're doing and getting together and joining with Kayak Bass Fishing to host the DZ 10. This is going to be a phenomenal set series. What we've been doing with all of these interviews every single night. We're on night 3 out of 12, where we're interviewing these different guys, giving them their night to shine. If you've missed any of this, you guys can go back and catch it on the podcast. That's available on every major podcast platform. You can also go in and find this. You can rewatch here, or you can go in at kayakbassfishing.com/the weigh-in and catch up on any of these previous episodes. This whole series that we're doing every single night this week is a special week. You can always catch us on our regular schedule Tuesday nights at 8:30 Eastern time for all of our weigh-ins. Case, bro, you've actually killed it, man. I thank you so much for joining us, dude. Before you go, man, I want to roll out the red carpet for you, dude. I want to give you an opportunity to thank anybody that you want to thank. Tell us a little bit about what your plans are, for the remainder of the season, and give a shout out to family, friends, loved ones, and and definitely the sponsors, bro. Help pay the bills. The mic's yours.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate you for doing this for all of us. I appreciate Chad and all of KBF for doing this for so many years and working with us all and working with everybody and getting these events bigger and better every year. Thanks to Old Town, they've been supporting me for a few years now. Fish USA for helping me out this year. Dakota Lithium, Stormy's been great to me. Couldn't do it without any of those guys. And then we got like RS Nets and Yak Lights. I appreciate all the sponsor support.
Now I got one last thing I want to throw at you. Let me see if I can even reach this. I'm kind of wired in here. I'm not going to show my box, showing off my address there, but I'm assuming that you, much like I, get a whole bunch of these little pretty boxes in. What's something that's going to be in your last order before you go to Florida? What's something that you think you're going to be putting in the cart there at Fish USA?
Well, I just got some jackhammers in, so
Ooh.
If it's, I don't know how well the shaky head's going to do down there in Florida. Hopefully, I can catch him on the shaky head, but if not, hopefully I will be catching them on the old chatterbait jackhammer.
I got you. Okay. Well, I know Fish USA keeps those in stock, so you'll have no problems there. He's gonna go get the goods.
Well, I got a couple hats. If any of you guys are down at the Tinvitational,
Boom,
stop by and say hey. I got a Dakota Lithium hat.
man.
I got an Old Town hat.
Look at that.
If y'all want a hat, just come holler at me. I only got a few of them, so
Now I want to ask.
first come.
You've been running the 50 amp hour battery for a long time, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How's that been for you, dude? I'm jealous. How's that been for you?
It's been good, man. It's been holding up great, and no complaints out of me. I haven't put it to its test yet completely to see how long it can run that Helix 10 for, but I mean it'll run it for a 2-day tournament for sure. So,
man, that's a lot. Then that's a lot of power too, man. How are you storing that in the Old Town?
Just in the front hatch, just throwing it in there.
It's held up, no problems. I mean, clean cycles. I mean, that thing's got consistent power. You're not dealing with any kind of dimness, any kind of tweaks in and out. I mean, that Dakota Lithium is giving you all the power you need, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep, I've been running. Actually, I've been the past few times I went out, I've been running it off the 10 amp Dakota Lithium, and I didn't know how much time I was going to get out of it, but I got a full day out of one of the 10s, so that kind of surprised me. But it definitely worked. So I may be playing around with those a little bit more, trying to save a little bit of weight. But
have you you just said you haven't pushed the 50. Have you? I mean, have you drained it?
I mean, I have, but not. I haven't kept track of the hours that I've had on it, and the brightness levels or anything. So
I got you. I see Chad chime in real quick. I tell you what, Chad, I'm gonna take you up on this offer right here, bro. Let's do this. Casey, you're a Fish USA guy. I'm a Fish USA guy. Let's do this. You want to give away a $100 gift card to Fish USA?
Yeah, of course. Let's do it.
I think we could put together a box. I think we could put together some swagger. Let's. How should we do this, man? I think we've asked a bunch of folks to share and to go in and comment and do those kind of things, right?
Yep.
How about a trivia question? You think a trivia question would be good?
Yeah, man.
Let me see here. Let me see who I can go in this. You guys smash that smash those share buttons. Smash those, start throwing in some comments. Let's see what we can do with the Fish USA. Let me see if I can find let's see if we can find a trivia question here.
I got a decent one.
You got a decent one?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let's roll it out.
All right, so
wait a minute. How are you? What is it? First answer correctly?
Yeah. I think first answer.
First to answer correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm watching comments. Hit us.
So, what is my favorite worm to throw on a shaky head?
Ooh. Now we're about a 30 or 45 second delay. So ask your question one more time.
All right. So, what is my favorite worm that I like to throw on a shaky head?
Oh, this is going to be somebody that's close to Casey is fixing to get $100 richer. You better be careful, bro. These guys are going to go fish against you. Somebody may just want a gift card that's going to bring a bait down there to win with you. All right, we got him coming in. A Zoom Magnum shaky head worm.
Yep.
Boom. Got it. Look at that Buster. Throws it up. He was quick with it too, man. Look at that.
That was quick.
Let's see. Up there. They're all pouring in.
Yeah. He hit.
I can't even keep up with it. It's going so fast. Let's see here. Buster was the first one, right?
Yep, and he hit it right on the dot too, man.
I mean, nailed
Magnum.
it. Zoom Magnum on the shaky head. Now, what's your shaky head setup? What's your hook setup?
So I use it's a custom made jig head that I use. Yeah.
You have my attention. Tell me more, Casey.
Yeah, I got a buddy, the One Objective guys.
Yep.
He pours some custom shaky heads, and those are the ones that I get them from him like 50, 75 at a time, and then I'm always coming back for more.
Boom, Buster Spencer bringing down the house. The Zoom Magnum shaky head worm. Casey says it that's what puts all those checks behind his shoulder blades back there, guys.
Yeah, congrats, Buster.
That's huge, man. Buster, we'll you can jump in my DMs or jump in Chad's DMs. I'm sure there's a prize claim for him somewhere at kayakbassfishing.com. You can go in and smash that thing, fill that thing out, and we'll get that gift card over to you. Casey, man, phenomenal show tonight, dude. I'm a big fan of yours, dude. I love what you're doing. I love how you're competing. I love your drive and your focus, your preparation that you put into. I think there's only a handful of guys in this community that put in the prep work the way that you do. And I think that's a big reason why you're successful, man. And I'm excited to see you come down. I can't wait to get into to get down here at the Kissimmee Chain of Lakes and get in the tent house with you guys, get this camaraderie going on. I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. I mean, your plans are to come down and win $10,000, right?
I mean, that's the goal, man. Yep.
What are you going to spend it on? If you win 10 grand, what are you buying?
I don't know, man. I may go ahead and get the Helix 360 because I think that's going to be, as much as the side imaging was a game changer for me, it's gonna double that. So that's really what I want on the kayak coming up. So
I got you, man. That's phenomenal, dude. Well, thanks so much for tuning in with us tonight, man. We really appreciate it. Last time, man, any kind of shout out, anything you want to say before you roll out?
Yeah, I just hope you all like the shirt. Rex Del Rey's making those down in Louisiana. Check him out. Go buy a shirt from him. I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
It's a killer shirt, man. Killer shirt. Love it. Casey, man, I appreciate your time so much, brother. I'll see you in Florida in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, man. We'll see you down there. I appreciate it. Thanks again, man.
No problem, brother. Appreciate it. All right, guys, that does it for Casey here, guys. I'm going to throw up this graphic one more time, kick my ugly mug to the back. This is your 12th place payout for the kayak bass fishing DZ the 10. They're DZ and Kissimmee Sports and kayak bass fishing have teamed up to give away over $30,000 to 11 or 12 different guys, depending on how this thing shakes out. $10,000 for first place, $5,000 for second, $4,000 in third, $3,000 for fourth, $2,000 in fifth place. The bottom 6 guys are going to walk in the house and profit $1,000 off the bat. This is a tournament where you're walking in the door making $1,000. I don't think it's ever been done before. I've never seen it before. I'm super pumped about it. But I tell you what, to get that $10,000 payout, these guys are going to have to grind. These guys are going to have to put in the work. And these guys have put in the time, put in the energy, put in the effort to do this thing. They're all hammers. They're all sticks in their own right. And we're bringing you a different interview every single night for the next 2 weeks. If you missed Jamie Broad's last night, you guys can go back and check that out. It's already up and running on the podcast. Same as Brad Case's. 3 nights ago, we had 3 out of the 4 10 champions. We had everybody except for Ron on. We had all 3 of those guys on talking about why this event is so important and how much is going on. Chad's telling me peep that last giveaway that was posted. I'll do that when I get done, bro. I'm working a show here, dog. Working a show. But anyway, guys, I'm your host, Scott Beutjer. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in with us. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'm spitting all over myself. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. There's nothing professional about this show whatsoever. I don't know why you guys watch. Tomorrow night, we got Cody Milton. He seems like he's a perennial favorite. He seems like he's everybody's golden child. I love to call him Legs. He's a phenomenal guy on the water and off the water. We're going to have a great time tomorrow night right here at 8:30 Eastern time, 7:30 Central. You guys make sure that you tune in. We got Cody tomorrow. And then on Monday night, we got the KBF kid himself, Mr. Dylan. And then we'll finish out strong next week. If you guys have missed any of this, make sure that you check it out on podcast, online. Check out these comments. Y'all smash those heart buttons, smash those like buttons. I'm out of here. I'm Scott Beutjer for the weigh in, telling you guys to attack your dreams. We'll catch you guys later. See ya.